Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I am showing some Thanksgiving freezer meal prep. This is a great way to have your Thanksgiving dinner prepared ahead of time so that you have more time to spend with your family and your friends and less time in the kitchen. I have 4 Thanksgiving sides to share with you today that are some of our family favorites that you can freeze ahead of time and just pull out and reheat on the day of Thanksgiving. And I would also like to hear what some of your family favorites are in the comments below. What is a Thanksgiving side dish that is an absolute must at your family's Thanksgiving? Let me know in the comments below. I think it's really interesting to hear. First up, we are making a green bean casserole. This is my personal favorite, along with the sweet potato souffle that I'll be sharing next with you guys. The ingredient amounts that I'm showing you today will make one 9x13 casserole dish, but if you need more, you can double or triple the ingredients. All you'll need is 4 cans of green beans, and for every 2 cans of green beans, it's 1 can of cream of mushroom. So because we're using 4 cans of green beans, we're gonna add in 2 cans of cream of mushroom. You're also gonna need some black pepper and some fried onions. Some people add milk, but I've made green bean casserole for years, and I've never added the milk, and it turns out just fine. We're going to start by draining our green beans, and then we're going to pour them into a mixing bowl. We're then going to pour in both cans of cream of mushroom. We're going to sprinkle in some black pepper and just give it a stir. Once we have that incorporated well, we're going to add in a good cup to a cup and a half of the fried onions and give it another stir. So we picked up some of these smaller disposable full pans that you can get from the Dollar Tree, and I got 2 of these pans out of this mixture, but like I said previously, it will also make one 9x13 pan size. Of course, if you're planning to take these somewhere, go ahead and use the 9x13 pan size so you're not taking multiple small ones. We just chose the small pans because we actually plan to eat these throughout the month of November as sides, and we also had a couple of people that we were giving them to. On the day that you pull this from the freezer, you'll want to thaw it completely and then top it with some more of the fried onions, and then you're going to bake it on 350 until heated through or golden brown. Our next recipe is Paula Deen's Aunt Peggy's sweet potato souffle. This has always been our go-to recipe, and I always have to have this along with my green bean casserole. They go hand in hand. I can't have one without the other. They just go together so perfect. But I'm gonna have this recipe linked below in my description box so you guys can get all of the exact measurements. We started by first baking up our sweet potatoes in the oven until they were tender enough to pierce with a fork, and then we peeled them and mashed them up. And then you're just gonna need some eggs, sugar, some milk, vanilla extract, salt, and butter. But like I said, for exact measurements, see the recipe in my description box. All you're gonna do is you're gonna pour everything in with your sweet potatoes and give it a good mix. I found it easier to mix with my hand mixer. Everything just incorporated better. We're then gonna pour that into our pans, and then we're gonna make the topping for these. For the topping, you will need some chopped pecans or pecans, however you want to say that, some brown sugar, some butter, and self-rising flour. We're going to mix everything together and cube up the butter so that it distributes more evenly into the mixture, and then we're just going to give it a good stir and pour that on top. When you pull these out to reheat, you'll want to thaw it completely and then bake it at 350 until heated through and golden brown on top. Now we're going to make the dressing. This is a must at our Thanksgiving. You're going to need 2 cans each of cream of chicken and also cream of celery, 4 to 5 stalks of celery pureed, 1 extra large onion pureed. And the reason we puree is because we have family that likes the flavor but not the texture. So we puree ours, but you can totally chop if you like. You'll also need about 4 pieces of toast, a sleeve of saltine crackers, and a pan of cornbread. We follow the cornbread recipe on the back of the cornmeal bag that makes an 8x8 pan size. And then you'll also need 4 cups of chicken broth. We're going to start with all of the dry ingredients first and go ahead and crumble it all together. You're going to want to make sure you crumble it up pretty fine. You don't want any large pieces of anything. And I added in the onion and the celery before I realized that I forgot my toast. Once you have all of your dry ingredients crumbled, you can go ahead and add in your wet ingredients along with some pepper, however much you like, and then give it a good stir. Once you have it mixed well, you can go ahead and pour it into your pan. I'm not sure about the size baking dish you will need for this recipe, but you will see that I got 4 or 5 of these small pans out of it. If you do put this into one pan, I would suggest something bigger than a 9 by 13. These are good to go ahead and freeze, and like the others, on the day that you want to cook it, you'll thaw it and then bake it at 350 until heated through and golden brown on top. And then last but not least, I'm going to show you guys how we make our homemade cranberry sauce. It's so much better than the canned cranberry sauce, and it smells so good when it's simmering on the stove. So you're going to need 1 cup of orange juice, a 12-ounce bag of fresh cranberries, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a pinch of salt. We're first going to combine our sugar and orange juice in a pan over medium heat, and then we're going to add in our cranberries, salt, and cinnamon. We're just going to bring that up to a simmer, and we're going to let that simmer for about 10 minutes, and the cranberries will start to pop at this point. Once most of them have popped, you're going to remove it from the heat and let it cool for about 30 minutes, and then it can be refrigerated for use up to 3 days, or you can do like we did and put it in a freezer safe container for later. This will be our first time freezing it, so we're unsure how it does in the freezer, but if we thaw it anytime soon, I will give you guys an update on how it does. Of course, we had to sample everything, so we baked a pan each of everything, and we made some chicken nuggets to go with it since the only thing we were missing was the turkey, and everything was absolutely delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what your favorite or family must-have Thanksgiving side dish is. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.